The first of the 24 national championships that'll be decided here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course this weekend. Of course, we'll be back next with one of the most exciting and fastest classes. You see them in the pre-grid, Formula Atlantic. They are quick. You're going to like this one.
Guys hate shopping, right? Well, let me tell you, big guys hate it even more. Department stores? In my size? Then I found the king size catalog. It's free. They've got a terrific selection of clothing at great prices. And the best part, every item is designed just for big guys, tall guys, or big and tall guys. It's just a phone call away. Or I can browse their website. Everything I need. Underwear to outerwear. No more tight waists or naked wrists. No more, I'm sorry, we don't have that in your size. And king size offers brand names. The latest styles and colors for every season. Outstanding casual clothes, sharp-looking work clothes, even shoes that really fit.
If you're a big or tall guy, call for your free catalog or jump on our website. King size, your size.
Hey, please don't tell my wife, but I kind of like shopping now.
The Lost Drive-In brings you two gracious competitors.
I'm a guys like him make me sick.
With the same goal.
The great god Speed.
You'll love both endings of Silver Dream Racer this Saturday at 11 p.m. Eastern. Whoa.
It's okay. It's only a Corolla. Moving up!
The 2000 Corolla, now with a VVTi engine. It's more powerful than you think.
What?
Today's live coverage of the 1999 SCCA Valvoline Runoffs is being brought to you by Valvoline. You can always tell the guys who use Valvoline. And also by Toyota. Get the most out of your day, every day. The Formula Atlantic starting to make their way out onto the track for their first of 1.5 pace laps. Essentially, let's take you through our starting lineup. On the front row, Larry Connor had a very strong run. He had 3 wins in the Central Division this year in his role. He's your pole sitter. Alongside Brian French, 5 wins, 1 Central Division. One of the fastest drivers in the country. His first run to the runoffs here in a number of years. You also see the rest of the field. One of the drivers to watch, Paul LeCain. And, of course, earlier you met Jamal Yelkin, who really caught the eye of Dan Carmichael and was very impressed with that young driver. Let's take a look at some of the drivers people think are the ones to watch. Now, there he is, Larry Connor. He's the pole sitter. Of course, you'd expect him to be very strong, and he proved it with a very quick lap on Tuesday in qualifying. So we would think he would be at the front. Brian French, the guy, is absolutely dominant in the very tough Central Division. You're going to want to watch him. And here is young Jamal Yelkin, a student. And as we said, Dan Carmichael, who's seen a lot of racing in his 80 years, was awfully fond of this young man. So that is somebody you're going to want to keep an eye on. Now, of course, there's some great stories that unfolds throughout this entire weekend, and we're going to check in again with Biz.
Juliano Brazil is from Sao Paulo. He has won 2 go-kart championships in Brazil. That's very important. He's won races in Formula Ford and Sport 2000. But Juliano, here in the United States, you've had 10 Formula Atlantic starts. They've all resulted in the top 4 finishes, but no win.
Yeah, I think it's very important for me, the Runoffs right now, because it's my chance to win a race to prove the other teams I'm a very good driver.
And what do you want for your future career?
Yeah, my plans, I have my plans I'm going to be a world champion, Formula 1 or go-kart, IndyCar.
Well, Juliano Brazil is looking for a win here at the Runoffs, and he's looking for that to bring a career move.
Well, those ambitions are what this is all about for the young drivers here. And then, of course, you've got somebody, as we mentioned, Dan Carmichael, 80 years of age, a former fighter pilot, a former champion in this division. But he's 80 years old right now, and he's still very, very quick. In fact, in the top 10.
You must get tired of talking about it, but that is absolutely staggering. When I think of people that are 80 years old, I think, you know, just as Paul Newman says, every day over 70, he considers that gravy. And so here's Dan Carmichael out here. He won this championship about 3-4 years ago at age 75, 76. And these cars, G-loading-wise, are the fastest cars at the Runoffs. big G loads. It's really hard to overstate how big you can't overstate what he's doing.
Well, no, and last year, I mean, he ended up in the top 5 as well. So, I mean, he's still very competitive. There's another look at number 14, Giuliano Brazil, in the Colleen Toyota Ralt, the RT4. And that's one of the older cars out here, obviously. So, now, of course, this season as well, you know, some of these drivers, Brian French actually ran in the Toyota Atlantic Championship at a couple of stops, and it's one of the top championship series for developing young drivers to get them, for instance, into the ranks of the Indy cars or the Champ cars that run. And a lot of drivers, they'll start running the Atlantics here in club racing, then they'll make the move, put in the Toyota power plant if they're not running one already, go to that championship, and if they get recognized by one of the strong teams there, they could eventually make their way up into the Champ cars and or F1, whatever. That's what you want to do. Let's go back down to pit lane. Sandy?
Well, Larry Connor, who is starting on the pole, has had an up and down kind of season. Actually, it started down. They blew up a motor in the first race of the season, but they've managed to come back, and they say this year has been about a learning curve, and they've captured 3 wins this season, and you know, guys, they'd really like another one here at the Runoffs.
Well, this is the one, obviously. If you get this, you're national champ. And I noticed Brian French on the left side of his helmet. Something is flapping there. That could be terribly distracting. Biz?
These are the tires that right now many people wish they had. It's starting to rain down here. These are full race tires, deep grooves to let the water out from underneath, very soft compound. Right now it's starting to rain pretty hard down here, guys. The drama's back on again.
I guess so. Boy, these cars in the wet are something else. The spray coming off these tires. We're going to have to see how this one unfolds. Connor bringing them up mighty slow to that green. French on the outside, then Jamal Yelkin, Christopher Kaiser. There's the go, and French got a definite jump, and the green is out, and Brian French, doing what he wanted to do, gets a huge leap, and if he can hang on, he's going to have a huge advantage going into the S's.
Well, nobody's going to contest that. He had a great big lead going in there, and we don't know how slippery it is right now. These have the most downforce of any of the cars that are run here at the Runoff, so they do have a lot of grip, even though the tires are cold.
Chris Kaiser makes a move and slides into third. That should be pushing, I think. That should be John Murphy, a strong run as well. But Brian French absolutely nailed that start and checked out, watching the field cycle through. And you see a lot of different year chassis running in the club racing of Formula Atlantic. And these guys drive them incredibly hard. There's a little bit of battling going on a little bit deeper back in the pack. And just some strong running. That's number 7, Jamal Yelkin. We're on board with Jamal as he runs through the carousel.
You say there's a lot of different types of cars and so forth. This is extremely expensive racing right here. One of the brand new RT41s like up in the front. We got a car off the road at 26. That's an older
David
car.
Vandenberg. And that's a very interesting car, Dorsey. You look at it, it's a Ralt RT4, but look what he's done to the driver compartment and the air intakes on the engine. That's been highly modified.
Yeah, that car is an older chassis, like you say. We'll have a replay of what goes on here. He gets in traffic. He's in the carousel. He's in there way too deep on the outside. Surely Marbles out there is going to turn the car for him. See it start to slide. And now they're going to go on the straightaway, which is a left-hand turner coming on, Tommy.
His right front's broken, it looks like.
Yeah, you could just see early in that replay, he just tagged the number 7 machine of Jamal Yelkin, and I think that may have broken one of the suspension.
It was so unloaded, he was still able to keep it on the outside. When he went back to go the other way, it just wanted to keep going right.
And I think that has a Mazda motor, if I'm not mistaken, too.
You're absolutely right. A very unique look to that machine. So, at the front right now, French leads it. Larry Connor runs in second right now. And look at the margin French has opened up already. That third-place car is Chris Kaiser. And if that car looks familiar to you, you've been watching the Runoffs on Speed Vision the last few years, that's the car that Steve Forer has driven to the Atlantic Championship on 2 different occasions. Now Chris Kaiser bought it and is running it. That is your second-place car, the pole sitter Larry Connor, who frankly got snookered by Brian French in the start.
Oh, big time snookered, yeah. He tried for a real slow start, which I was really about to say I was going to question that with it being a little bit slippery. You wouldn't think you'd want to start real down low with the chance of spinning the tires and no aerodynamic downforce, but it didn't work out for him anyway.
Well, that's something to talk about with these cars. Unlike a lot of the other cars here, they're so reliant on the aerodynamics. You really have to, even in the wet, you have to have some speed to get the most out of the grip.
Yeah, you look back there, there's a battle for fourth going on. That's a good battle going up into the keyhole.
That's Jamal Yelkin, the young man that we met earlier in '90. Paul LeCain, 3 wins. He won the Northeastern Division this year on his machine, and he was very quick here last year as well, and he and Jamal are having a strong battle for 4th right now.
Now, these changing conditions, Jamal's been here all week. He's been running well in practice, but he only has a very few races in his whole career. And so, you know, you get proficient at doing one thing well, which is learn the car, learn the track and the dry. You throw a wrinkle in like light rain. It's almost better if it's raining hard, because you know it here, the conditions change literally by corner.
On board now with Jamal, and watch him work on the wheel. And things don't look too bad right now. There's not a sheen on those tires, no sheen at all. And so looking pretty good, not carrying any lurid slides, not a lot of correction any more than you might expect.
Well, you won't see a lot of slides out of these because they are ground effect cars, you know, and they have a lot of aerodynamic grip, so you don't see them turn sideways. And usually if you do step out, they're stepping out into the pasture.
It's a big step out, but it looks very dry, at least on that section of track. Now, there's behind Jamal once again is Paul LeCain, and he's running in the 5th spot right now in his Avon Tires Valvoline Toyota. Ralt goes through turn number 1, and a lot of room that some of the drivers given to the curbs out there. Though, as a matter of fact, almost looks like it's lightening up on this section of track in terms of some sun.
We don't want to use these cars on the curbs, because when you do, you open up an air gap underneath the car and it dumps all the aerodynamic downforce that you were making. So you won't see these guys running up on curbs, not on purpose.
Keep an eye on that battle for 4th, Jamal Yelkin and Paul LeCain. It looks like Jamal's starting to stretch things out just a little bit. You talked about his level of experience, Tommy, and obviously any amount of lap time he gets, you'd expect him to get quicker and quicker.
Yeah, exactly. I think once he settles in, if the conditions stay constant, I think everyone's been raving about his ability, and I think if he can settle in, you'll see him start to work his way towards the front.
Good look there at number 84, Chris Kaiser. And Sandy, he's firmly planted in 4th spot.
He is, and his father is the crew member and the crew chief, Joe Kaiser. What kind of experience does he have driving in rain and then a little bit of sun? Because we're getting both at this very moment in time.
He's got an awful lot of seat time in various kinds of weather. We don't see a problem with the weather today.
Now he's had 2 starts here. Best finish has been 4th. How does he feel coming into this race?
Yes, it has. At the runoffs.
Now you have radio communication with your son. What is he saying?
At this point, he's saying absolutely nothing, which is very good.
Well, Joe Kaiser says that's a good sign that his son is not talking. He's focusing on the race.
Well, that's a very good point, Sandy. If there's not a lot of communication, generally it means the driver's just doing the job, feels okay with the car, and has got his head down and chasing. If he's talking a lot, oftentimes that can mean the car's not working right, and you're trying to figure out what to do, just sort of talking it through with the crew or running it through. But at the front of the field, Brian French, who has been here many times in terms of leading a race, in fact has won national races here at Mid-Ohio, but has never driven the Atlanta car at the runoffs, decided this year to come and see how he can do, and I'd say he's doing mighty fine. And you know what else this guy does? He has a 1983 Formula 1 Ferrari that he has run a number of times at Road America in the historic races there. Guy knows how to drive classy machinery, and he right now is out front in the chase for the national championship in Formula Atlanta.
Sports News has learned.
On the scene with the biggest stars.
Is this a great showcase for baseball, Ken?
Up to the minute every night.
Fly ball, deep right field. This baby's over.
Here's Flutie rolling out. Touchdown.
Keith Olbermann, Kevin Frazier, and the primetime team all over the world of sports.
Paris,
Los Angeles,
Houston,
Augusta,
Miami, St. Louis,
New York.
Fox Sports News primetime. Miss it, miss out.
Trust me on this.
Do you have a video of yourself catching the perfect wave, climbing an amazing rock face, or doing anything exciting outside? Then call 877-OLN-ADVENTURE and enter the Outdoor Life Network Adventure Video Contest. You could win the adventure vacation of a lifetime or other great prize packages. Plus, we'll air the top 5 videos on our Adventure Video Special. So, If you want to be on national TV and win some exciting prizes, send us your tape by January 31st, 2000.
Welcome back. That is Paul LeCain, but you see closing in very quickly, number 47, John Murphy in the Taylor Rental Hoosier Tires roll. That is a solid battle for fifth right now. LeCain and Murphy, and Murphy throwing everything he can at chasing down Paul LeCain, but Sandy, Paul has been here before.
Paul has been here before, and he has worked a lot with his dad, who is also Paul LeCain. Your son has been on a tear this season, winning 18 of the last 20 races.
Yes, unfortunately today it's not looking like he's going to win. He's running in 5th place right now. We've had a tough week with the car. It's a new car, and he's only driven it one race before, so we don't feel too bad about it. We'll come back next year. But generally, if we can put a car under him that's capable of winning, he'll win.
What kind of changes did you make this week? That's a nice laugh.
Well, we changed engines, we changed the clutch, we changed springs several times, we changed shocks several times, wings, pretty much everything. We've had the total car apart 3 times.
Well, thanks, Paul. That just goes to show, finding the magic formula here is not as easy as it looks.
Oh, not even close, Sandy. Last year here, he ran the older Swift, the old DB, I think it's the DB4, and he was very quick, but that car to the Rolf, that is a huge change in equipment, and just the adjustment, let alone learning the setup and all that is massive.
Well, the bad news is with all those changes, they still haven't found the right setup, because you watch that car, it's very, very loose. Whenever you see an Atlantic car in these big four-wheel drifts and slides coming off corners, you know that it's not a happy car.
And you also see Paul, who has no fear of using up the road. We watched him last year in the Swift, and he was absolutely flying. He's not getting, it's one thing to avoid the curbs and not get up on them, but he's giving himself 3-4 feet on the exit of a lot of the corners. I think he's not real comfortable with how this car feels, as Dorsey said.
Well, he's not. He pinched the car right there. See how loose the car is on the corner entry up there? That car shouldn't be sliding. Now he's got understeer at the bottom. Very unbalanced car right now.
Now let's go back on board with Jamal Yelkin, who continues to run very impressively. And Jamal at this point is the number 7 entry, is running in 4th spot at this point, and he is doing whatever he can to try and run down Chris Kaiser, who's right in front here. Jamal looking for any opportunity. Kaiser coming through. What? We watch those cars, Dorsey. Why are they skipping and hopping like that over that concrete section?
Well, this is a little bit more bumpy than what you would think it is. That corner at the bottom down there, has got a couple of severe bumps, and these chassis are so stiff that what they do is they actually pull the other side of the unloaded wheel, just go right up in the air, because there's no torsional give in the chassis at all.
Big right front lockup heading into the carousel by our leader. You're talking about that. You're unweighted. You're not braking in a straight line there, and so he's not really doing anything wrong, but just a little bit of braking, and that wheel is almost suspended by itself, even though it's only rolled a quarter of an inch. It unweights that inside wheel because everything is so stiff.
Gives you an idea of the fact that Brian French, even with a fairly large lead he's built up, is still hustling that car pretty quick. And by the way, I was corrected. I said a 90 or an 83 Formula One Ferrari that Brian drives. It's a 93 as he gets a little loose right there. It's a car, I think it's one of the last cars that Alain Prost drove in F1, doing a nice job. And Brian French loves to hustle any type of car, Biz.
He does love to hustle, and the man that puts the hustle in his car is Carl Liebeck, the crew chief. Carl, we understand that it wasn't until the last qualifying session that you got the car set up right.
Finally on the top in the last session, and that bode well for what was going to happen now, we think.
Well, what about the fact that Brian had not been at Mid-Ohio for 2 years? That's got to put you behind a little bit.
We were. That's why we came here on Friday, and we've struggled ever since, but everything progressed right to where we wanted to.
Well, that's absolutely true. They found the right setup. He's got a heck of a lead right now, guys.
He's got a great lead right now. And Dorsey, one of the great joys that you used to be able to experience was watching Carl Liebeck drive a Formula Atlantic car in his day.
I was about to say, he wasn't always a crew chief. He was a competitor against me for a long, long time. Carl Liebeck, of course, back in the flat bottom days, had great car control and put on many a good show for the fan.
I had the opportunity to work the kink at Road America as a corner worker a few years ago, and Carl came out in one of the old Ralts for a day and obliterated a field of faster cars, and it was awesome to watch through the kink. He was just throwing it in there and absolutely flat sideways and never lifting. It was a joy. By the way, you're watching Yelkin. He's made the pass. He's moved up to 3rd, got around Kaiser. So young Jamal, Tommy, we talked about it. He's getting more comfortable and confident, although it clipped a curb right there. There's a little learning experience.
Yeah, Dorsey talked about what it does to the aerodynamics. Also in a slow-speed corner where the aero isn't as important, because these things are so stiff, it jacks so much weight to the outside tire, it'll get dead loose in an instant. Now we've got a car in the pits. That's Brazil.
Yeah, number 14, Giuliano Brazil. You met him just a little bit earlier before the race started. They've got that engine cover off and something looking very loose back in there.
Yeah, that's the whole water system that you're looking at right there. That's some of the cooling stuff. Something's broken loose in there, and that's not a good sign at all.
That starts rattling and moving about in there. If it comes loose, obviously, it could wreak havoc on the engine. So the crew is doing everything they can. They also have a little oil sitting there as well to hopefully be able to get this guy back out and running. But it's looking pretty serious at this stage.
On a 19-lap sprint race with these cars, if you pull in the pits, your day's pretty much over.
I'll tell you what, he's got the F1 aspirations. Those are going to have to wait for a little while, but he's got the proper headgear. You've got to have a cool helmet if you're going to F1, and he's got that one dialed. Cool helmet, cool visor, you got it. Brian French has the ride coming up on some traffic and dispatches them quite nicely. And Brian French put on a great drive. You can see the gap back to Larry Connor in second, but Brian French 10 laps down, 9 to go. Formula Atlantic at Mid-Ohio.
You're born, you die. In between, you work on cars. We should all be so lucky.
Introducing the new full-size Toyota Tundra. With the most stress-resistant frame in its class and over 2,000 pounds of available payload capacity, the Tundra is tough enough to do the work of some of the biggest trucks on Earth. And it's a lot easier to park. Introducing the new four-door Tundra. Have we gone too far, or have others not gone far enough?
Man, what a light! That's good enough to be the pole. Michael, you're not gonna believe this. Not today, Mikey.
Make way for Cyberdale. It is knock knock out of my way. Rabid pack of pit bulls doing the jackhammer waltz. NASCAR 2000 EA Sports. It's in the game.
When he took apart my drill just to see how it worked, he made me mad. When he built his first radio to contact life on other planets, he made me laugh. When he picked electronics as a career, he made me think. And when he graduated from ITT Tech, he made me proud.
For an informative brochure, call ITT Tech at 1-800-942-0099. That's 1-800-942-0099.
Log on to speedvision.com and get the fastest, most up-to-date information in news, events, original programming, and lifestyles of speed.
Welcome back to Mid-Ohio. Despondent Giuliano Brazil down in pit lane. Sandy?
He's still strapped in, unable to talk to us right now. It's obviously a frustrating moment for this young driver, but if you look over, I'll tell you what the problem is. See that jug of water, guys? It's a water hose.
Everything was loose inside and apparently ripped a water hose apart. And, again, that's going to make for a quick day. So he's done, but Brian French out front continues to lead now with 7 laps remaining in the Formula Atlantic National Championship race. And this is one of those great stories here as we take a look at our Dodge race reset. As I said, 12 of 19 laps complete. Brian French has led from the get-go, all 11 laps so far. One lead change, and it was Brian's with that great start. And we've got a couple of cars that have been off track. And, of course, Giuliano Brazil now retiring from the event. But Brian French doing an awesome job. And one of the unique things about this is, you race all season. There's 65 national races spread around within the 8 divisions that make up the Sports Car Club of America. You run in your division, you qualify for the runoffs, but it's not like you get best 2 out of 3 or a playoff series. You come here, it's 19 laps, the winner gets the gold, the bronze, and the silver, of course, and the rest they look for next year.
It's basically winner take all. All the other stuff is geared towards, granted, there's individual race wins that you can look back on, but this is what it's all about. Everybody, the minute this day is over, they're already looking forward till next year. And actually, I think we might have things closing up a little bit. You have Larry Connor in second, who looks like he's closing up a little, and Jamal Yelkin may be closing up. There's there's only 6 laps left. But if Connor can string some laps together, see, he's in the frame.
Yeah, he's definitely closed it up. And as you said, with 6 laps to go as they come by start-finish, well, we've seen, I mean, one quick mistake by Brian French, a half spin or a big long slide, and that gap can disappear in a hurry. And so Larry Connor obviously has his head down and is seriously getting to work here.
Now, the last time off the carousel, Brian French pushed wide on this concrete like that, and he's really struggling to keep it on the exit. That hurts his exit speed. Ideally, you want to stay tight to the inside curb until a little bit further beyond there, and then when you get to full throttle, you can keep it wide open and not have to dial it back on the exit. So he might be fighting a push, severe push there.
Yeah, Connor's definitely close.
I'm surprised he hasn't tried a more inside approach to that, trying to get the right side wheels inside that concrete patch, Tommy, because both of those laps, you're right, he gets about 3/4 of the way down. There's another push over the top of the hill right there. So, you know, you think he'd change his line a little bit, try to get more grip.
There's nothing you can do about the left side tires being on the concrete, but the right side you can keep hooked inside. Sandy, you got something for us?
Well, right now I'm standing with Lee Hagan, who is grabbing a time from Larry Connor. And as I told you early on that he blew a motor the first race of the season, you've had a learning curve going on. I know you were debating today which setup to go with. What did you finally go with and why?
Well, it started to rain early on, but it dried out really quick for us. We were panicking a bit. Hold on one second. We were panicking.
Oh, tell us what that time is that you just grabbed for Larry.
Still a 23.3. He must have got held up in traffic. There's some back markers there. But it was looking pretty bad for a bit. Fortunately, it dried out. We're okay. We had a lot of changes to make, and we fortunately didn't have to make them. So it turned out good. And things are looking good now.
Guys, that's Lee Hagan. He's crew chiefing for Larry Connor.
Well, let's put that in perspective. The pole was a 120.7. He ran a 23.3 in traffic. He's flying.
Yeah. You saw he got out on the concrete a little bit, but a little bit tighter line. And again, what I was starting to say is you can't do anything about the inside tires, but the outside ones, the longer you can hold it tight, once both side tires get on that concrete, it just takes off to the outside.
Giuliano Brazil is out of the car and he's with Biz.
Well, actually, he's still in the car because he's too emotional to get out. Giuliano, you had very high hopes for this race. What are your feelings now?
I'm feeling so bad. We tried so much to get the time, but they just didn't happen.
Obrigado. I'll tell you, these races mean so much. He wanted this to be a career-proving race for the people who knows what it takes to do well here, and a water hose took it all away from him.
Well, John, you can literally see what this race can mean to some young drivers. Look at that, a tear building up. That is a tough way to end a race that you were resting so much on, and that's a national championship, and obviously a tough day for young Giuliano Brazil, but a character-building day, and obviously at some point he is going to be back in the thick of things.
And the lead battle continued to tighten up. Larry Connor is stringing some laps together. He got held up a little in traffic, which halted his advance, but he's dialing back in, and they're both fighting the cars, but he's definitely making ground.
I think he listened to us, too, because that time you saw he put his right side wheels all the way up to the curb and kept it, and it gave him a good hook shot out of there. He got a good exit, so he's listening.
He's listening, and he is coming on strong, definitely starting to close in on your leader, Brian French. He is feeling the heat from the quickly pursuing Larry Connor. We'll be back for the last 5 laps in Formula Atlantic.
Guys hate shopping, right? Well, let me tell you, big guys hate it even more. Department stores? In my size? Then I found the king size catalog. It's free. They've got a terrific selection of clothing at great prices. And the best part, every item is designed just for big guys, tall guys, or big and tall guys. It's just a phone call away. Or I can browse their website. Everything I need. Underwear to outerwear. No more tight waists or naked wrists. No more, I'm sorry, we don't have that in your size. And King Size offers brand names. The latest styles and colors for every season. Outstanding casual clothes. Sharp-looking work clothes. Even shoes that really fit.
If you're a big or tall guy, call for your free catalog. Or jump on our website. King Size. Your size.
Hey, please don't tell my wife, but I kind of like shopping now.
This month on Speed Vision, it's live Formula One from Malaysia and Japan, NHRA drag racing from Kansas, the Speed Vision GT and Touring Car Championships from Pikes Peak, the SCCA Runoffs from Mid-Ohio, the U.S. Open of Supercross, live NASCAR qualifying, and Bo Bridge is starring in Silver Dream Racer.
That's Speed Vision, and you got it. So turn on Speed Vision before the 99cc passes you by.
Want the lowdown on Dodge Durango? Here's where its best-in-class Magnum V8 power lives. It's longer and wider down here for best-in-class room up there. And say hello to best-in-class available towing. Want the best? Get a Durango. Me, I want one of these. Dodge Durango. Different.
Speed Vision's live coverage of the SCCA Valvoline Runoffs is being brought to you by Valvoline. You can always tell the guys who use Valvoline. And by Dodge. Do not follow. Do not conform. Be different. The new Dodge. On board with Jamal Yelkin. He is 3 spots behind this guy, Brian French, who is your leader at this stage. We have 2 laps to go. And you can see there's French and that multicolored car. The white and green machine is Connor. That's the gap between first and second with 2 laps to go. And Connor doing everything he can to try and close in. French very loose up and over the top of the S's. That didn't seem to hurt him too much, but I think he's starting to feel the heat, obviously.
He put his head down and was actually able to pull out a little bit from the lap before. But you can see how he's doing. He's taking some more chances. Now's the time. You got 2 laps to go. You don't want to leave anything on the table.
So Brian French pushing as hard as he can now, apparently, to try and build a little bit more of a cushion over Larry Connor. Jamal Yelkin runs in 3rd. Then it's Kaiser in 4th. LeCain round out the top 5. And here comes French through the carousel. Turn 15, the left-hander up onto the front straight. And let's see, we should see the white flag. Last to go, and there is Carl Liebig informing his driver thusly. And although he has ruled Formula Atlantic in the Central Division, he's won the June Sprints. I don't know how many times in this category. He's finally come here to Mid-Ohio. Looks like he's going to add the big one.
Well, this makes you kind of nervous. He's going there on the last lap, or what we think is the last lap, and there is lap traffic right up there in front of him. You see he's going to catch. He doesn't want to be held up with that, particularly when he gets off this straightaway into the twisty bits.
Down that long back chute, it is indeed the final lap, and he makes that quick little bend through what they call turn 5 here and heads toward the S's for one last time. And we watched him up and over the top of the S's, and he has in fact stretched it back out again over Connor. Maybe he was leaving something for reserve, keeping those tires alive.
Well, that could have been Carl Liebig also.
That's true.
Getting on the horn and saying, hey, your speed is off. You need to catch up a little bit.
There's Connor disappearing in his pursuit, trying to run down 45, and there's that lap traffic up front. That's Dan Carmichael, the wonderful 80-year-old driver in Formula Atlantic. There is Liebig, pacing, a little bit nervous here, watching. Dan Carmichael comes through, is not going to hold him up too bad, moves over, lets him swing by, and there it is. And Brian French, his first visit to the Runoffs, and he takes the championship. Connor looks good for second, and there is a very happy crew. Carl Liebig has engineered another winner, and he did it at the most important SCCA club event that is in existence. That is the Runoffs. And let's go down to John Bizignano with Carl.
Carl, what a great drive. What a great setup on the car. Congratulations.
Everybody came together at the right time. Brian did a great job. Cool under pressure. Terrific job by the whole team.
Dorsey Schrader remembers when he was knocking wheels with you. He said it was always your fault. Is that true?
That's right. Yeah, that sounds like Dorsey. Yes. Say hi to him for me.
Okay, congratulations again, Nate.
Appreciate it.
Indeed, congratulations not just to Brian and Carl, but the whole crew. As Carl said, it all has to come together at the right time. No changes other than the one for the lead, and then it was all Brian French, no cautions, and he put on a great show. And of course, when we come back, we will be visiting with Brian and the rest of the top 3.
Kick off your college football Saturday with Fox Sports Net. Big games.
Touchdown, UCLA!
Big hits.
Oh, my goodness, what a hit!
Big-time coverage.
Into the end zone. Touchdown!
Hosts Kevin Frazier and Kellen Winslow cover all your gridiron action all day long.
Unbelievable catch!
With pregame previews, up-to-the-minute scores and highlights, plus post-game wrap-ups.
It's gonna be sweet.
College football Saturday. This Saturday only on Fox Sports Net.
This is Laura Patterson. She's saving a bundle on long-distance calls to Grandma using MCI 5 cents every day.
When Laura was born, I counted on Mom to talk me through everything. She'd call 2-3 times a day. How do I do this? How do I do that? Mom was always calling me. It was like we rediscovered each other. Then we got the phone bills. No college tuition for you. Now we use MCI 5 cents every day. It's brand new. Calls are just 5 cents a minute every evening and 5 cents a minute all weekend long. That's half the price of AT&T. And that's good. And you can get daytime calls the rest of the week for just 10 cents a minute. Now we can call each other any day of the week without worrying about the cost. Whether it's just to shoot the breeze or for the really important stuff. It's Grandma. Hi there, son.
MCI 5 cents every day. To sign up, call 1-800-456-1559.
Say hi, Grandma.
Ask about our great international rates, too.
Speed Vision takes you inside the MGM Grand Hotel in Vegas for the AMA US Open of Supercross. The best motocross riders in the world are looking to hit pay dirt. The AMA US Open of Supercross tomorrow night at 1 Eastern.
Sheboygan, Wisconsin's Brian French takes the checkered flag in this beautiful multicolored rope, and that gives him the national championship. Here's another look at it as he comes through that last turn, and there is no view like that one as you come out and realize that that checkered flag is for you. You're the first to see it. You are a national champion. And the crew, boy, they appreciate it big time as well. And they certainly have in this case, as Brian French has earned Carl Liebig and the gang a national championship. There is Brian on the lap of honor, carrying the checkered flag around the track. Our unofficial results, French wins it over Connor. Great run by young Jamal Yelkin. Chris Kaiser held on for fourth, Paul Lacane fifth. Murphy, Dan Carmichael, what a great story. Capos, Tollefson, and Kenny Swede end up rounding out our top 10. And Dan Carmichael, a great story there, as he at 80 years old has completed another SCCA runoffs and ends up in the top 10. But Brian French looks awfully strong all week, and he pulls it off in a great race here. Let's go down to our third place driver. He's with Biz.
Jamel Yelkin, congratulations on a great third-place finish, but you said that you lost some confidence out there. What was wrong?
It wasn't that I lost confidence myself. The track, there was oil in one spot that was pretty bad, but the Everclear Vault ran great. I mean, the team they put me with the best car out there, I believe, and it was just a matter of time till I caught him. But it was beautiful out there. I mean, it was a lot for me, and it was a new experience, but hey, everybody has to experience something new in life, right?
Well, that's what this whole racing weekend's about, guys. Some good experience and a little bit of bad. Congratulations on a great third place. Sandy.
Well, I am with Larry Connor, the lucky four-leaf clover. Sure worked for Larry today. Some great moments out there.
It was really good. Brian got us at the start, and we worked real hard, and we caught up to him about mid-race, and then I thought we might have something for him at the end. The tires started going away. We started picking up a push the last half a dozen laps, and my hat off to Brian. I mean, we gave it an all. Advanced Racecraft team gave me an awesome car all week. Lee Hagan did just an outstanding job. The Hoosier tires were great. It was really a good week for us overall.
And I know when you were coming back in, you've already been thinking about making changes next year. Why don't you tell everyone what you and Lee Hagan were talking about?
Well, what we're talking about is we might go to the carbureted engine from the fuel injected, and clearly we thought the fuel injected might be better here, but probably do the carburation. This is really new for us. We've only been in this car for 6 races. We've never driven these cars before. He's never run them before. I've been out of racing for 3 or 4 years, and so we had a ball this year, and we'll be back next year.
Oh, not bad for Larry Connor, starting the season blowing a motor and coming in second at the runoffs. Not bad, guys.
Not bad at all. Great run for Connor. There is your winner, Brian French, in a great drive. And for young Jamal Yelka, they're going to have to put the sponsor sticker on the back of the hat. But that'll all come good. We'll be right back.
And Blanchard's car is handling great as he takes the lead. Incredible.
The right chassis parts make any car feel high performance. So choose Moog, driving NASCAR champions to victory. Moog chassis parts, another great part of Federal Mogul.
Guys who put it all on the line. Guys like Andy Green, who can't go fast enough, and Alan Shepard, who did all of his best driving on the moon. Think of Don Aronow catching air. Kenny Roberts grinding the toe off his boot. And those guys with the right stuff? But you get the point. So turn on Speed Vision. Where men are men, and insurance agents are nervous.
Welcome back once again, and here's another look at that crew, and you can see how much it means not just to the driver but to everybody involved in the program. They have worked very hard at that. Look at the eyes of Brian French. I'm not sure he even quite believes it. He is a national champion. He's going to love that. And there he is on that lap of honor. And guess what? He's with John Bizignano. Biz?
He is with me. And Brian French, you were telling me that it's been since 1995 since you've been back to this track. And my gosh, you must have remembered it well. Congratulations on your first championship.
Thank you.
Tell us about the race.
Well, it was raining a little bit on and off, but the car was beautiful. Tire looks good. We ran a 25 front corner in the front left, and it was just perfect.
We heard from Carl that the setup was not right all weekend long, but you dialed it in right towards the last qualifying.
And that's true. We struggled all week, and I would say this morning was the best car we had all week. It was just perfect.
Where did you have the advantage on your competitors?
Well, first of all, the start. The start was very, very early, so I got a good jump on the start. Neither of us expected to start that early, I don't think, and that was really the whole race, the first couple laps.
Well, sometimes that happens, guys. Congratulations on your championship.
He's earned it. He has worked with Carl for a long time to be able to get this program running. He covers all his bases, and when it comes time for him to crawl behind the wheel, the guy is absolutely untouchable, as most competitors in Central Division will tell you. When you're chasing somebody, it's usually Brian French. We'll be back for more from the Runoffs right after this.
Given two hearts. One beats within me. The other, a merciless piece of metal and fire that lurks beneath the hood. Which should I follow? Ivan Iron Man Stewart, Overlord of Baja.
Everybody take your seats. Okay, class, let's try some basic phrases. Repeat after me. Katrina, does this bus go downtown? Okay, maybe not. Phil, how many stops to Wall Street?
The stock market!
I'm praying for a rally, you know. What is the story with cyclicals?
Cyclicals, schmicklicals.
Cyclical, schmicklical.
On Ameritrade.
You trade with Ameritrade?
I tried with Ameritrade.
I live for Ameritrade.
Okay, class, what is this Ameritrade?
You trade stocks on your computer. One trade $8.
Log on Ameritrade.
So how do I pick a stock?
You do the research.
It's free.
Free?
It means no charge. Pro bono.
Ameritrade is a great and wonderful thing.
And they said capitalism would never work.
Call toll-free 1-800-728-8603. Ameritrade. Believe in yourself.
Hi, I'm Alan Bestwick. Please join me, Ken Schrader, Michael Waltrip, and Johnny Benson as we take an in-depth look at the previous weekend's races. It all happens every Monday night. Join us.
Coverage of the SCCA Valvoline Runoffs is being brought to you by Valvoline. You can always tell the guys who use Valvoline. It's also being brought to you by Toyota. Get the most out of your day, every day. Toyota. Let's head down to pit lane with Sandy, and she's with the Dean of Formula Atlantic.
Well, it just goes to show you, racing is ageless. What a race for you today. What were you thinking out there? And you just beat the rain, too.
Yes, we did. I didn't really think of anything. I made a terrible start that was 90% my fault, and I've made a bad start the last 3 years in a row here, so I'm accustomed to it. But once you get going, you just do the best you can and try to make something out of it.
do the best you can and you just stay out there and all of it. You know, I had a hard time convincing you to come out and do this interview. You were insistent I wasn't fast. I don't want to talk. But is that the point about racing? It's always to win, but isn't it also to have fun?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's to have fun, but first to go fast. First to go fast.
And can we look forward to seeing you here again next year?
Well, I hope so. I haven't made up my mind yet what I'm going to do, but I don't know. I just kind of go month by month and see what happens.
But I think your eyes are still dancing. I'd say that's a good possibility, guys.
Well, it certainly wouldn't be the same if Dan Carmichael wasn't here. He is not just a great driver, but just a great person. Give me a little idea of this guy's history. In 1964, he reached the age limit for flying Navy jet fighters off carriers. So he moved into other types of flying and decided to start racing an F-production Alpine. And he's been racing ever since and does an absolutely phenomenal job. Now, we talked about the fact that we've got a lot of races here, and there's a few each morning that we just can't bring to you live. One of them was F500. And it, as usual, produced some fireworks. We're going to take a look back at how that unfolded.